I guess what I'd like to say, probably more than anything else, is that the academic preparation squad really exists because there's a need for it. As Dr. Scarborough said to you, there's a crisis going on right now in terms of our children and their education. She indicated that the rest of the world is moving ahead and they're taking responsibility for directing and guiding their children towards the future. Now we have the same opportunity, and I'll just to give you a little background, I was a math teacher. I taught math and science for a couple of decades, and I worked with students from grades 2 through college level. And what I discovered is that every grade level, our kids lacked proficiency in mathematics. And as a math teacher, it really broke my heart. I mean, I could have ignored it, or I could have said, as many people do say, to the winners go the spoils. And everybody rises to their height based on their potential and their capacity. But I discovered that there's a reason why our kids are behind. And I'll be frank with you and just let you know that in a competitive world, it's not intended that everybody is proficient. It's not intended that black and brown students in particular master and excel in mathematics. The world knows the importance of mathematics. Virtually all of life can be explained through mathematics. It is needed in every profession, in virtually any and every career path. As Dr. Scarborough said, over the last 20 years, black and brown students have lagged behind everyone. All of the latest research demonstrates that our students lag behind 30 to 40 points behind everybody. And nobody has seen it as a crisis. There has been nobody who said this situation cannot be tolerated and we have to deal with it. But if you work with students and you realize that as their elders, it's our responsibility to rectify problems that they have. They're not capable of solving, especially systemic problems. This problem, it's not just here in Los Angeles, it's not just here in California, it's all across the country. It's all across this country and most of the countries on the face of the earth. Because nobody really foresees or plans for black students to be at the head of anything. They don't plan that your children are going to be the inventors, that your children are going to be the scientists, and that you're going to break new ground. We as a people have a legacy of mathematics. We created the discipline. Most of the sciences came about through the efforts and through the invention and the consciousness of black and brown minds. So we have a legacy, a rich legacy, that our kids don't know anything about. And I just want to let you know that even though a lot of parents will take the attitude that my children are good in math because I wasn't, and that there are people who are born with a leaning towards proficiency, and some that are born and they don't have the ability or the capacity to learn, master, and use mathematics. But I'm here to tell you that that's not the case. Mathematics is a ladder discipline. It requires prerequisite skills. As you learn and you advance from basic mathematics through more advanced mathematics, all branches require certain foundation skills. Those skills are generally taught at the elementary level. And our particular system has really failed the children to give them ownership of those skills that allow them to build as they go through higher levels of education. And I just want to say that this game that basically I created came about because I recognized through research and through practical observation in the classroom that our students didn't have ownership of the skills that you need in all branches of math. With those skills, advanced mathematical concepts, formulas, and theories are not difficult to learn or to use. But without these skills, you can't advance in mathematics. So there's some basic foundation skills that you have to have. And if you look at the California exit examination, most of those skills that are required that our students aren't being successful with, those are basic skills. They're not advanced. You're not looking at high forms of algebra, geometry, trigonometry, or calculus. You're looking at basic mathematics that they are not proficient with. And no one has actually done anything. And if there was anything that we could do to close the achievement gap, and I'm sure most of you have heard about this gap, it would be to focus on mathematics. Because with those skills, all of the other disciplines, they come easy. Because first, the most important thing is your attitude about learning. If you believe that you have the capacity to learn and do something well, that carries over into virtually everything else that you do. So if you feel that you're good in math, first thing that happens is that you feel that you're smart. Because in America, they say, if you're good in math, you're smart. But the opposite also holds true. If you're not good at math, you assume that, well, I'm not that smart. There's some difficulties. I'm not going to be able to advance. And so the kids give up. And we say, well, they're lazy and they don't care. But that's not the truth. The truth is that in order to gain mastery over any skill set, not only do you have to be taught and showed through examples how to deal with the skill, you have to practice. You have to practice to gain ownership. And so our kids need an extended opportunity to gain mastery over the foundation skills that will allow them to build on as they go up in grade level in school. So this game was designed, and I hope and I pray that the game catches on as a fad. I want it to be in every household. I want it to be in every classroom. I want families to play this game together so that as the kids are gaining proficiency, the parents will also. Because what you find is that when children who struggle with mathematics, if you go home, you'll find some adults who also struggle and wrestle with mathematics. So this game can work as a platform for skills and strategy practice, and it will give them a way to gain mastery over some skills that they're missing. And, you know, as a lot of parents take the attitude, well, I went to school, so, you know, that's it for me. But learning is lifelong, and as long as you're alive, you should be adding to your arsenal of skills and knowledge. So, and also that is a way that you need to model that for your children. And you can't expect the kids to do something that we won't do as adults. So this game hopefully will be a tool that can be used. Because parents, a lot of parents don't know how to help their children. They say they love them, they care about them, and they don't want to see them fail. Because I think probably one of the most difficult things that any parent could be faced with is watching their children fail. And not only watching them fail in school, but knowing that because of their lack of success in school, the likelihood is that they're going to have difficult lives. And so that would be a terrible fate to expect for your children. So essentially this game allows parents to work with their children, especially in elementary, where virtually anybody can learn the skills. But you have to extend your opportunity to practice. The time you spend in the classroom, there's not enough time in a classroom to gain mastery. So a lot of people, they send their kids to tutoring. I know here in this area in particular, a lot of the Asian parents and students, they have what's called school after school. They are so set on making sure that their kids are prepared for the future that they spend their hard-earned money to send their kids for extra school. So that's how serious they are. And so parents who care can use this tool and take out some time in their day, turn the television off, turn the radio off, and work as a group to make sure that their children own these skills. These skills they have to have. Even if you weren't intending on taking higher education, going to college, you need these skills just to be functional in the 21st century. You need them to justify your checking account. You need them to deal with a household budget. You need them when you go in a grocery store to be able to determine one value as to whether or not one value is better for your family than another. You can't calculate your mortgage if you don't own these skills. So anybody can take advantage of you. And believe it or not, people are doing that every day. They're taking advantage of our people because they don't own skills and they don't understand what is happening to them. So this is a tool. There's 3 levels of this game. There's a player set. This game is especially useful for people who have some basic skills but want to sharpen those skills, want to internalize those skills, want to own them. This is the game for them. This starter set here is for children when they're first learning. This game allows you to play with computational skills in skill sets, first starting with addition and subtraction, and then multiplication, division, and then incorporating or using all 4 operations with the 3rd mathematics function bar, which is an element. It's the manipulative in this game. By the way, the game is in Spanish and in English, and hopefully it'll be available in other languages too. But right now, the focus is on English and Spanish. This is a mastery set. Now, this mastery set deals with absolute value. This deals with positive and negative values and fractions in the same gameplay that all these other 2 games are. So if you start out with these 2 games and you move to the mastery set, this set will set you up. If your kids own these skills, when they walk into an algebra class, they won't have any problems. Because all advanced mathematics requires that you use the skills that this game teaches. Okay? So it's extremely powerful. Believe it or not, if you work with kids that are gifted, especially extremely or what's called profoundly gifted kids, they love the challenge that this game set provides. So the game is a tool. It's a way for us to jump into fight and make a difference for our kids. Because, and let me just say something else. This game doesn't exist anywhere else on the planet. Okay, the Academic Preparation Squad, we're the only one that has this game. This game had to be created because it didn't exist. Okay, so I want to, first off, thank all of you for coming here. I want to encourage you to tell people about it. And I also would like, before you leave, that you know how to play the game.